Okay, this is his nibs, also known as Norman, and today we're going to take a look at the monstrous, where is it? There it is, that's a monster. Junlai 930 fountain pen. Well, it's a little less monstrous. Okay, let me fit it in the entire pen in the screen. This is one humongous pen, and we're going to be comparing it to some others size-wise, including a couple from what's often referred to as the golden age of fountain pens in the 1930s, 1940s, and how what we consider to be a writing instrument has really changed size-wise. And we're also going to be comparing it to the Mont Blanc 149, which was always an oversized behemoth of a pen. Well, no more. This is the new standard for oversized behemoth pens, let me tell you. So stay tuned, and we'll take a look in the next scene of a size comparison. It doesn't really come as a surprise to anybody that the size of our fountain pens have grown precipitously over the years. So this isn't really a review, just a kind of reflection on that fact because of my most recent purchase of the Junlai 930, which many of you are by at this point familiar with. Back in the golden age of fountain pens, and I kind of actually consider this a golden age of fountain pens, but back in the 1930s, 1940s, you had pens like the Schaefer Balance as being kind of a typical pen size-wise. And you'll see the growth I'm talking about as I compare it with some others. But this was pretty much de rigueur, and I know that I pronounced that wrong. But I don't care, and I'm not gonna re-record that. This was a beautiful lever pen, and really it's called the Balance, and it was kind of really the first torpedo-shaped model. And so 30s and 40s, we also had the prototypical fountain pen, at least as far as I'm concerned, the Parker Vacuumatic. And still larger than the Balance, but not a large pen at all by today's standards. So that's just a look at a couple models from the golden age in the past. And I don't know, probably around the year 2000, somewhere around there, I obtained the Mont Blanc 149. Now this happened to be the 75th anniversary model with a diamond in the upper clip and etc., etc. I've talked about this pen before. But I remember saying to a friend, I couldn't believe a fountain pen could be this big. It was just so oversized, so humongous from my experience. I mean, look at this. Look at this bad boy as opposed to Parker Vacuumatic, for instance. And it took me a while to even get a feel for using the Mont Blanc. It was so large compared to all the other pens that I'd collected over the years. And then Junlai started making some homages, if homage can be pluralized in that way, to the 149 with the X159, which I don't have in front of me at the moment. But then they really took it up a notch when they came out with the 9019. Very similar in size to the Mont-Blanc 149. But the girth even a little bit greater. And this is a large, oversized pen, as you can see. The Mont-Blanc's nib was larger, kind of a number 9 in size, whereas the Junlai went up to a number 8, which was quite unique in the last couple of years. They first introduced that in the Junlai X159. And then they came out with what's now considered a full-size or mid-size version. And that's the 9015, was it? Or 9016? 9016. So many pens, so many numbers. This has a stub nib in it that I switched out as Britnum from Asvine and I were practicing on producing stub nibs for Asvine, which, as you will recall from a previous video, came to fruition with also this very large pen, the C2000, and there's that beautiful number 8 size stub nib. Very happy that the work that Britnum and I did together to produce stubs came out so well. Howsomever, and let me show you one other, the Junlai 9013, which today would almost be a pocket pen in size, quite similar to the venerable Parker Vacuumatic. So you have, I love this design, which is reminiscent of the Namiki line of pens, but you have the 3 size variations of the same pen. And then, my God, come on, Junlai, still sometimes going by the name of Wing Sung, but that changes at the end of the year. And it'll be just Junlai. In fact, this is marked Junlai. Came out with the 930. My God. This is a real homage to the 149. It's a piston filler as well. And I brought out the black one so you could see in comparison the two pens. All it's missing is the snow cap on top. Look at this behemoth. And a true number 9 nib. Really gorgeously engraved as well. This is a broad. And let's compare it to the 149. It makes the 149 nib and pen look like a baby, like a pocket pen itself. And let me see if Junlai cap fits on the Parker. I mean on the Mont It doesn't. Threads are different. And of course it's different size. So anyway, again, this is not a review. Maybe I'll show you a little writing in the next scene with the Junlai. But just amazing the growth in size of fountain pens as I've collected them over the years. But I'm saving the best for last because I got a demonstrator fountain pen that puts even the Junlai 930 to shame. And it's this bad boy. I can get so much ink in this pen. It's a little hard to write with, but this is where the future of fountain pens is going. And I particularly like the filling system on this pen, which is you take off this rare cap and then just, pour bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle of ink in there and hope that it doesn't leak too much and that you can get the cap back on, which doesn't apparently... Okay, there we go. And I'm actually going to have to cut a slit here because there is no slit at the moment. This is obviously, his nibs experimental model. So there'll be, I'm sure, much more about that in the future. Anyway, let's find C2000. I thought, okay, that's really taking it to the next level size-wise. Little did I know, Junlai 930 would put even that pen to shame. Okay, a quick look at some of these nibs from the Schaefer balance in the 30s. Schaefer's Lifetime, and this is a 14K nib. And I try and use all my pens so they are ink stained, which I love. All right, let's go to... So this is the Parker Vacuumatic. Not polished recently, as you can see, but you can see the arrow design on the clip. And here we have the feed. Guess I should show the feed of the balance as well, if I can find the lens in macro. Okay, there we go. The Mont 75th anniversary, such a gorgeous nib. The imprints. You can see the ink stain nib. Meisterstück. And the feed. Although I didn't show this before, this is Wing Sung's homage to that pen. Come on, where are you, lens? There you are. And this imprint was not that great. This is the, what is this, the 630 model, I think. But a terrific pen nonetheless, a real reproduction of the Mont-Blanc 149 piston in all ways except for the nib, this being a steel nib that I have on here. What's next? Okay, the Asfine C2000 number 9 nib with the 1.1 stub that I encouraged Britnam Lee of Asfine to develop, and we sent nibs back and forth until I gave him what I felt was the okay for the stub that was being produced, and I'm very happy with the result. And last but not least, the Junlai behemoth in all ways. Junlai and Wing Sung are, this is the 930, are the same company in this case, although Junlai is going to be dropping its Wing Sung moniker in 2026, I am told. As you can see, this is a B nib. And it's humongous feed, humongous nib, and everything about this pen is large. So just a quick look at the nibs of some of the pens I mentioned. I only have a couple of these pens fully charged and inked up, and I'm not really doing a writing sample per se. So this is the Asfine C2000 with its Mont-Blanc Hemingway style clip. And again, that stub nib. Let's see. Okay, I have the macro on, so this paper isn't even showing. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. If I try and work around the camera. Oh my God. So it even has a little bit of flex. But you can see the difference in line width on this lovely stub. And before I knock this camera over, which is very easy to do, the Junlai 930 made in Shanghai. That's what it says on the cap band. And that number 9 or larger nib, I mean, it puts the Mont-Blanc number 9 in a different category, a much smaller category. Let's see. And this is the B nib. Never done this on using macro before. That's all right. Really very little line variation with pressure. Just a touch. It certainly is a broad, however. Yeah, there's some A little bit of stub-like variation between the downstroke and the side stroke, but certainly not as much as the stub on the asphying. So thanks for bearing with me with my experimentation of writing using the macro lens setting on. And I'm not going to be able to fit both of these in, but it just continues to amaze me. Let me see if I can adjust the macro the other way. Yeah. Continues to amaze me what had always been a humongous Mont-Blanc 149 here, and the new Junlai 940 there. And of course, I didn't ink it up to write with. The His Nibs Demonstrator fountain pen. Thanks so much for watching. You'll find some links below to some of the pens should you wish to make purchases through Amazon. And sorry if I just hit the microphone. It is almost 95 here today in Allentown, PA, and I haven't quite adjusted to that, even with fans and AC in various rooms. My body is still on winter time temperatures. See you soon.